Okay, so I screwed up on the video, and now we're recording partway through. But you didn't miss anything important. Just us disagreeing about who's prettiest.
Just front load the video with just the new logo that we worked on, and then tell people that the video kicks in.
You'll have the
20 minutes.
TR, you'll have the audio from me, so you could just run a message over the screen during that part.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then when it cuts back to the video, there you go.
That feels like work. Which means it doesn't feel like something I'm gonna do.
That feels like something I
I'm
don't want to do.
probably not gonna do that.
It feels like something I don't want to tackle. So,
all right. So tonight we're talking about our favorite crossovers / events. Right off the bat, we're in the middle of one with Empire right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
TRR and I talked about that.
And that's what kind of drew the inspiration for the topic.
This isn't one of my picks, but I am enjoying Empire as far as an event goes. And I don't read Fantastic Four or Avengers on an ongoing basis, so it is kind of nice to just check in with what's going on in their world.
Yeah.
As a Marvel
I've
fan.
heard that, and I think the biggest thing that's helped Empire be successful is the fact that there was no comics for such a long amount of time. In the comics world, it was like 2 months of no new books.
Yeah.
Right.
That's 8 weeks of no new books. Like, that's a lot of books.
Yeah.
Especially when over 100 titles come out a week. So I would think the thing that's helped Empire is shortening the time frame that was supposed to happen, because it was supposed to be like a once a month, twice a month.
It's once a week.
Now it was like bi-weekly. Now it's once a week, and everyone's just you're in it. You're in the story. It's moving at a fast pace.
Yeah,
and
I like it because every week I
it.
come in, I'm just like I haven't forgotten because literally I read it like a day ago.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I'm just really enjoying the X-Men tie-in because I've really doubled down on reading all the X-Men titles. And so it's kind of cool to see how they're going to tie into this because there's, like I said, Krakoa and stuff involved.
Yeah. Well, it's like the first foray and the first step in the door peeking open for the X-Men to join the regular MCU or MCU.
Yeah.
Marvel Comics universe.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Still MCU.
They're going
not the cinematic.
They will be in this big event coming up in the fall.
Yeah.
The X-Men will be kind of at the forefront of that.
There's going to be a null thing going on.
Yep.
The Black King or something like that.
Yep.
Something.
Or
like
no,
that.
the King is black.
King is black. Got you. I honestly think that is if you have a Venom #3 that second week, that's the time to sell it.
Yeah.
It's going to be hype. Like, I guarantee you, first 2 issues.
So another
Null's going to show up and do something crazy.
Thor comics are going really big because they think this might be the next Null. The blackness. I can't think.
Winter.
Black Winter. Yep. That is what Galactus and Silver Surfer are doing. I'm sorry, Thor, not Silver Surfer. Thor's the current herald for Galactus, and I'm kind of excited about that one too.
It's a great story.
So, we've got 2 big dark entities on Marvel Horizon, which I think Empire is going to lead nicely into.
Yeah.
That, and it's just a nice way to usher in the fall. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's starting into a little spooky time, Halloween. Those are good kind of like stories to get into with Venom and all that.
One thing I do want to mention with Empire is they have mentioned the blue side of the moon, the blue spot on the moon before.
Yeah.
Because I was reading Avengers versus X-Men, and they talk about it there. So I'm wondering how long have they had the idea of what that blue spot really is, or is it just like, hey guys, we have this thing we haven't used, let's make it into something.
I'm going to guess that, but
because that's actually been the huge trend in Marvel Comics right now is uplifting their old stories with new stories.
Go find something old and make it
100%. Cool. And Donny Cates working on Thor has shown, and working on Thanos has shown that because they go back to stories that are 4, 5, 6 years old. And all of a sudden, that's the first appearance of this new type of like character. And you're like, well, even so, he's uplifting these shit stories that had no one cared about.
Yeah,
no one cared.
Yeah,
cool. It's a cool story. But then they're making it concurrent to now, and people are just like, oh my god, it's so awesome. So he's doing a great thing, and I've seen that with Empire, like talking about those different things. And that's exactly what they're doing. It's going back, looking at something that's maybe unused but could still be salvageable, and they just uplift that old story. Yep.
That's what the symbiote Spider-Man, symbiote reality or something like that. Alien. It's about Spider-Man when he had the black.
It was like Back in Black or something.
Yeah, but he had the symbiote at the time, and it's from the symbiote's point of view. Alien Reality, I think it's called.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Okay.
Anyway,
I don't think I read that one.
It's a Spider-Man. It's going on like 10 issues now. But it's from the symbiote's point of view. But it goes back to when Peter had the black costume. So we're getting more stories out of that old played out thing, but in a totally different way.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, what'd you pick for one of your favorites? Because I see
Well,
your pile, and I like
yeah.
that one too.
This one that I picked, it's easy to pick because first off, Doug Mankey.
Mhm.
Anyone that knows me knows that I am a Mankite. I'm a Mankey.
Mankey.
I've had
Jasmine, stop
I've
being
heard
happy.
I've heard of other on other podcasts they've referred to his last name is Monkey, and I'm going, I've actually met the guy. It's not that.
Yeah. Here's the thing, though. I would completely have that confidence,
Yep.
except I thought it was Elliot Rahal for a long time.
So did I.
Rahal.
Yeah, it's Ray
Ray
Hall.
Ray Hall. Gotcha.
Like a
yeah.
first name and a last name, Ray
Yeah,
Hall.
but he was nice when he corrected you.
Oh yeah,
He was
And
really
he's
cool
so
about it.
nice. And he's like, I feel bad about correcting you, but this one is actually rebranded
Nice.
by Doug Mankey. This is
Monkey.
yes, Doug Monkey. This is Blackest Night. For just a pure crossover, I'm not talking the tie-ins because those can get tedious and repetitive.
I have them all in hardcover because that is probably the best event I've ever read, not only from DC but ever.
Yeah, it is the way they handled all of it. The tie-ins with other characters.
Yep.
They did it so beautifully because they made you care every time a new character was brought into it.
Yeah.
And I mean, again, the art. I'm a Doug Mankey fan, so getting to see that, and then more mythos with the Green Lanterns,
Yep.
and the Purple Lanterns, and the Pink Lanterns, and the Blue Lanterns, and the Yellow Lanterns, and the Red Lanterns,
All of them.
and the White Lanterns,
Black.
and the Orange Lantern.
Oh, one. Yeah, LaFleas.
Larfleeze.
Larfleeze. What a dumb character. Sorry.
Is a dumb name. Oh, you don't like
I like Larf.
Oh,
I
so-
like Larf.
I don't like
He's-
Larf. I think
to
the power
me-
of the lantern is dumb.
You know what? He is like a Jar Jar
It's
character to
mine.
me.
Okay, cool. It's
I can
yours.
understand that.
Or-
I understand why people hate him.
Maybe,
but I love him.
maybe like more like a Gollum character.
Yeah.
Because he's just
Yeah. That was creepy.
uh-huh.
I'm glad we did that though.
Yeah, it was fun.
And that one got to hear it through headphones the
Yep.
whole time.
Scared.
Which is why I keep wanting to do my Professor X voice more.
do it.
In your mind.
Tyler, look in your mind.
I'm gonna close my eyes.
No, don't do that. Don't make this weird for me.
I'm listening, Charles. I'm listening, Charles. Yes.
I'm here.
This is a great pick.
your
Okay.
eyes,
Bro. What do you like about Blackest Night?
The stuff I said.
Yeah.
No, I love because it's a lot of it is turning characters. It's almost a zombie type thing.
Yeah.
So if you get a black ring, then you basically become this weird zombie thing.
It is a zombie thing. I mean, a lot of old characters were resurrected in the
Yep.
follow up the Brightest Day thing. So a lot of characters that DC had killed off over the years, it was a way for them to bring them back. It was a way to bring DC back together as a universe as well. I mean, because prior to Jeff Johns taking the reins there for a while, it was floundering everywhere. And then
yeah.
this was the event that went into Flashpoint, which was New 52, which was, so this was the start of all this DC craziness.
Right. But I still think it. And New 52 gets a bad rap, and I
love
don't
it.
know why. I
like
think
it.
it's really good. The Batman stuff, I think.
I think about 3/4 to 1/2 of the new 52, for most characters, not all, is really good. And I think the last quarter of it is bumbled on like
they just
all fronts.
ran out of steam, the writers, the initiative, because they launched 52 titles, and then we're like, oh god, half of them were just throwaway titles.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. And the thing is, if you do it just one of those titles per week, that means that you're only getting one issue per year. Like,
Yeah.
because that's one per week.
Mhm.
It's 52. So that means how many issues of each one of these are they doing, and how many of them people just don't care about. That, the
Right.
sales are nothing. So someone's stuck there writing, knowing what
That's
no
just
one
going in the
cares
garbage.
about. Yeah.
that was like my least favorite part about it was all the titles that were garbage. But to me, it was also the best reboot because Flash and Batman, Superman, they were all solid titles.
It was the best to start, and then like I say, even like half because when Flash was amazing, the New 52 run of Flash was amazing.
Yeah.
And then halfway through, the creative team changed, and the art changed, and then all of a sudden this team went to work with Reverse Flash and this Flash and this Flash, just going back in time every single 6 issues. I'm like, oh my god, dude! Like,
it was
the
bad.
same thing. I mean, it's like, is that like a play on like the Power? Because you're just reliving the same moments. It's different every time.
Did you like? I mean, I kind of felt like the fact that there was going to be so many colors was kind of redundant. It felt like they were trying to play off of Marvel's Infinity Gauntlet, having, you know what I mean?
Kind of, I guess.
I mean, with all the color. I don't know. Forever, it was just
they'd set that up with Green Lantern, though, for quite a while.
Yeah.
Oh, Blackest Night.
Yeah.
Sorry.
What are you talking about?
I thought we were still talking about... Never mind.
I think we were still stuck in the comic I was talking about. We were
Yeah.
talking about Flash.
Sorry. No, I'm sorry.
I thought we were
You were like,
talking
wait a
about
minute.
Flash, and I'm
No,
like...
I'm sorry.
I mean, there's Reverse Flash who's yellow, there's Zoom who's black,
No,
there's
that's now I
Godspeed
get
who's
your
white.
face. I'm like, is it really that big of a leap for? Okay, Blackest Night, all of the different colors. I felt like was DC's response to Marvel's Infinity Gauntlet, but I don't know.
I guess I could see
I can
that.
see that. I can see that drawn. Yeah, I can see that drawn.
But I still liked it. I mean, it just not all of the colors were that interesting, and so those one shots
like
and
the-
stuff.
The Indigo tribe, who their
Yeah.
power is based on... yeah.
Sleep. I think one big thing to look at this book is like this is where the DC in terms of their movies should have built up to. I mean, this is DC's Infinity War for sure. That's a great way to compare it.
Yeah.
But yeah, they should have been building this for years, and this is the culmination of their cinematic universe, like Avengers was.
Yeah, and they're gonna just shoehorn in the Flash storyline that comes next.
Yeah.
I just said it like a few minutes ago.
Flashpoint.
Yep.
Yeah, Flashpoint.
So-
Flashpoint's just going to be this soft reset.
Yes, exactly.
They're just going to recast and restart in their own film franchise. They're going to recast, restart. It's just weird.
Yep.
It is really weird, but I mean, what do they do? Should they take a break for 5 years and then just come again with this new cold open?
I don't know. My problem is I really like Henry Cavill as Superman.
I know, but
Yeah.
he's now relegated to just going to be showing up as like Kingdom Come Superman someday, or as like a multiverse Superman. Because
Which
the way
that bums me
Flashpoint,
out.
yeah, I hear you, but it didn't work, man. You can't keep these guys if the cinematic universe was a fucking failure.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You just can't keep the same hero. So they're going to recast it, and he'll be brought back in a later film as I'm different universe Superman, or he's Kingdom Come Superman. I mean, he still looks great, and he can still play it, and then people will still remember that universe. But they're going to have to restart from scratch in terms of building. They're going to have to restart.
It's crazy that DC, when they farm their movies out, they're great movies. But when they try to do them in-house, they're fucking garbage.
Yeah.
I'm like, what in the world is going on? They can't make a decent Batman movie. They're
too busy trying to get a connected universe so fast.
Uh-huh.
We talk
Yeah.
about it all the time.
Well,
This is the main
how
trope.
many movies was it before the MCU finally had the Avengers? Because there was Iron
like
Man,
six,
Iron Man
5.
2, there
Yes,
was the
Thor.
Incredible Hulk,
Incredible Hulk.
and Thor.
Yeah.
And they took a long time to build the Avengers.
Yeah, they actually.
There was a Cat movie.
Oh, and Captain America.
Yep.
Yeah, you just said that.
Cat
sorry.
movie.
Yeah, Cat movie. So what is that? That's like the
5,
6th
6.
movie.
Yeah.
Was the Avengers, and each movie you gave a fuck about the movie, whereas with Batman versus Superman, that was too soon.
Many of us.
And also, it was too. Why'd you say Martha?
Yep. Well, and it's like in the first movie that come out was Iron Man, and the idea of the MCU hadn't really come to fruition yet because they needed to see how Iron Man was going to do, right?
Yeah.
And
And Iron Man dictated basically through Thor,
yeah,
and
Yeah.
Thor dictated if the Avengers would happen.
yeah. I mean, and I didn't really pick up on that all. We were going to get an Avengers movie till the previews for Avengers started coming on TV, I was just thought we were getting cool Marvel movies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it was always the dream, but you know what I mean. Like, and it didn't start that way either. Iron Man was just a risk. You know what I mean? It was it was a D class character at that point. There's nobody cared about Iron Man, but then they came in and
a D-class
revolutionized
actor
this.
too. I mean, nobody cared about him.
Took a chance on him.
Yeah.
You know, as a rebound for him. Like,
Yeah.
he's a good actor. He always has been.
yeah,
but he has had personal problems that he
But
needed to deal with.
his personal life killed his career. And,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And without getting the role of Tony Stark, I mean, he
He
would
would have been
nothing.
lost to the wind.
Nobody would have cared about him. Robert
Lost to the
Downey,
wind.
who, you know?
Yeah.
I think he would have figured out work, but he wouldn't have become the icon that he is.
I
I
without
don't
Iron
think
Man.
he would have gotten Sherlock if he hadn't gotten Iron Man.
That's very true.
Dr. Doolittle, anybody? That was him, right?
Yeah, I heard
that was,
horrible
That
things
was
about
also
that.
Eddie Murphy, though.
Yeah, I like that one.
So
I like that one.
you like that one? You've seen it?
Eddie Murphy
I
played.
have not.
Eddie
You never
Murphy
seen that
played-
one?
played
I mean,
Iron Man?
we were big fans of Nutty Professor though when we were a kid
Yep,
with
yep.
him in it, and that was an amazing movie.
Hercules.
In terms of an Eddie Murphy movie, that movie is hilarious.
Yeah. I remember
Buddy Love.
some of the complaints that critics were having were, well, he played all these roles, but you couldn't tell which ones he was playing. That was actually like a critic complained
Really?
about that. And it's like, oh,
That's kind of the point.
sweetie,
Yeah.
I want to ask you so many questions, but they're all rhetorical and end with the phrase, you idiot.
True.
They did do a really good job because he played his grandmother, he played himself,
Yeah.
he played the fat him, the skinny him,
Played,
the
like, his
grandfather, his brother,
So
and
funny.
all at the kitchen table.
That scene is amazing.
And so, it was almost like that 70s show style where they
Yeah.
ran around the basement. It was like that, but it was a different version of him. It would have been so hard to film that.
But that,
Oh, man.
that 70s show glorified marijuana usage. And I don't know if I approve of that. Hey, you guys, check out this micro machine I have.
This just in. This will be TR's last episode with the podcast. Anyway, JP, what do you got for crossover / event?
I think a cool crossover and a crossover you will probably never see again. It's just not in the cards. But Batman versus Predator, I think that
It was
one of
cool.
the best
Oh, yeah.
crossovers because it's
Yep.
the best of both worlds. You're getting
And
this
it
awesome.
inspired fan art.
The fan,
or
Yes.
the fan
stuff.
video,
Yeah, fan vids.
is so cool.
But
The Batman Dead End, I think
Yep.
it's called.
And
is
he-
the one I'm where they got
Yep.
Andrew Koenig to play the Joker.
Yes.
yeah,
The filming of they did a vertical shot down on the bat suit and the cape was in the
good.
puddle.
Oh, it was.
You've seen it?
Yes.
Okay, so anyway, yeah, that's a really
And
good
all of that happened because of the book you're talking about.
well, yeah, and it's something that's never going to happen again because now Marvel even owns Predator. They're
Yeah.
never going to let that happen again. And
No.
then Dark Horse. I'm not sure what Dark Horse is doing. They've been putting out some books, but I haven't seen anything huge in premiere from them.
Yeah.
And losing those two titles maybe is like the best worst thing to happen to them because I'm sure they needed some money and those were worth money.
Yeah.
And they had to sell them off because they even got rid of Warhammer and sold that to Marvel for publishing rights.
They did.
Really?
So now there's a Marvel Warhammer book coming out. So
That's
which I'm
cool.
excited for. I hope they keep it mature.
I'm usually iffy about licensed products,
That's what I'm
but,
worried about. Like with this, and then talking about Marvel acquiring, they acquired not only Predator but Aliens as well. So they got them
Sure.
both. So I worry that they're gonna not be able to help themselves, and they'll start strong for like the first 3 months, and they'll be like Alien and Predator books. They're solely those. Enjoy, and then they'll be like, what if Iron Man was hunted by the Predator? And then
Right.
you're like,
Yeah,
oh,
it'll
no.
become
Like,
and the Batman one will lose its appeal because
It'll
now
be-
it's just one.
yeah, it'll
One
be
of many.
it'll be Avengers versus Predators. Like,
Yep.
oh no,
Yeah.
like.
Yeah, the fan movie that we were just talking about is really good.
Yeah, it's called Batman Dead End.
Is it? Okay.
Yep. And there's some amazing
Shots. The shots they got in that
Yes.
movie. The suit they made. I mean, for a fan film, they spent some money on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably 8-9 minutes long.
You just got some passion. It's that Bat in the Sun Studios, right? Like that's their name because they do all the superhero like short film.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
they did
they
like
did, like-
Wolverine versus Predator.
Yeah,
I
even.
think they did World's Finest was one of the ones that they did. It was called something like that, where there's Superman and Batman and other characters also.
that stuff. Okay, but that's one of my picks. I mean, Batman versus Predator is amazing. It's a once in a lifetime thing. It's not going to happen again, and the art is amazing inside. So enjoy it. It spawned a couple sequels. There's Batman versus Predator 2 and 3, and they're just solid. They're
Yeah.
so solid, and it'll never happen again. It's just a great. It's not only a great Predator comic. It's just a great Batman comic.
Yeah, it
So,
definitely is. Mine was Maximum Carnage from the 90s. That's
I loved it when I was a kid.
yeah, because Cletus Cassidy to me was so creepy in that like
My
early-
dog is now molesting Tyler.
No, he's good. She's good. He was so dark compared to Spider-Man. Spider-Man is such a
Yeah, he's a
happy-go-lucky
goody
character.
two-shoes.
And Venom was one thing. Venom's been an enemy for a while, but then like Cletus Cassidy was something different altogether.
He
And
was.
so they had
What
that-
if the Joker was meaner?
Yeah, so you look up on the wall. I'm looking at his first appearance. That's what really got me into Carnage because I read those when they came out.
Yeah.
So when they did this huge Maximum Carnage crossover event through
Right.
all of the Spider-Man titles plus some annuals and like one Spider-Man Unlimited or something like that.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's
Wasn't there a black cat
This is yeah.
that they did at
This
the
is
same time?
So dumb. Because at the same time, I loved it, but now looking back on it, it was crazy. 14 different books in Maximum Carnage.
And all the wrap up
Yep.
happens on the last half of book 14.
Yep. It's quick.
It.
You know,
I will say this.
It's like the end of
Carnage-
Lost.
Yeah. Carnage is one of my favorite
All
villains.
this build up. Yeah, me too.
Yeah. But my big problem is Carnage stories. They build and they build and they build and then they fizzle the fuck out.
Right, like that one Carnage story like a few years ago with the Green Goblin and
Yeah, the Red Goblin.
yeah, and
I
JP.
even
It was so
somewhere-
funny. I had a couple copies of it, and I was like, "Oh yeah, this is gonna be good." First appearance, and he's like, "That they're not even gonna do anything with that." And then they didn't. They stopped. They stopped. Like
I warned
almost
you.
Like almost immediately after his first appearance, they
Because he's stupid.
shut your mouth. He's fucking cool. Okay.
He's fucking dumb. Okay.
They kind of used him ish in Maximum or Absolute Carnage.
Yeah.
A little bit. Yeah.
Yep.
A little.
They did
but
have
that's
an
another
appearance of him.
example of I think of it building and building to a fizzle.
Yes.
And I think that was just them trying to throw another bone at it, being like, maybe Donny Cates can use it and figure something out. And he's like, I'll write it into my cool story. And
Yeah.
then people were like, that's okay. I like this story though.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I do like the idea of Null because that's all in that mythos of Venom, right? And
Yeah.
and so
It's the secret origin. It's great.
so me being a huge Venom fan, I got a huge Venom tattoo on my leg.
Sure.
Just going into that mythos even further in Carnage to me was that cooler step. He looked meaner. He was red and black, and
Yeah.
I mean the old Mark Bagley drawings of him were really cool. But they're primitive compared to what the artists are doing with Carnage now.
Yeah.
It's effortless to make a Carnage thing look cool. I mean, you
I
just draw
know.
Carnage, you know?
Yep.
It's like,
Yeah.
Just
it's
draw
crazy.
blood in the
Yeah.
face.
Yep. People
Yeah.
fucking love it.
Anyway, so yeah, Maximum Carnage.
That's a good pick.
Mid 90s.
It's a good pick.
You want to take a quick
Yeah, we're gonna
break.
take a quick pause.
We'll be right back after word from this sponsor. Back after our quick break there. TR, what's your pick?
Oh,
For
my next pick.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, this one I went with one that I thought you guys would maybe disagree with me as far as its greatness goes.
Okay.
I think it's very underrated, and it's only 5 issues.
Probably not me because I love Venom.
Venomized. I'm going with Venomized.
Uh-huh.
I think this was such a good crossover because it's a crossover that didn't affect current canon for other heroes. It's other universes, versions of. So,
Kind of like Batman going on right now with the different
Metal.
versions.
Yeah.
The Batman metal, dark metal, black metal. Is it black?
Death metal.
Death
Speed
metal.
Metal is
Duh.
coming.
Speed metal.
at some
Speed
point.
metal will be the Flash.
Okay.
The Flash crossover.
When do you think the Doom metal is coming?
Man, I'm done with the metal stuff, honestly. I really am. I wanted to be like, you remember when it was coming out, I was gung ho for it.
I hear you.
I was last year when metal came out, and it really left me again no answers. It was lost.
I mean,
you know,
from-
you have this great build up and great story, and then just
Well, the best thing I can gather from Metal itself is it's literally just incepted, created, published, and distributed for a reason for these writers to just, and creators, artists, and writers together, to just do whatever they want without any,
it's garbage. So have you read it?
Yeah, I think it's fun. I think you have to reserve your. I don't think it's good by any means, but I think people are coming into it trying and figure it out, and it's like, there isn't any figuring out going there.
I don't even know what's going on. Like,
you just have to strap it.
What
and
universe
have fun.
are we in? You know what I mean?
Right, but that's not a question you should have. You just have to go. It's this infinite multiverse. You know what I mean? Like that's why they set up Metal. Just to do this stuff.
Yeah, and then I'm like, which Wonder Woman is this, and which Batman? Like, we got the dinosaur Batman.
And you don't have to worry about it. Like that's what you should come into that with. You just can't figure out. Where did Bat Warlock come from?
Right.
Nowhere. He came from nowhere. He's literally a character incepted for this story alone. Nobody fucking cares.
So Metal is one of yours?
No, Metal's not one of mine. I'm just trying to defend Metal in a way like where people get it because like it's not anything special. It's just you're supposed to have fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I
know it's not good.
I just feel
I'm bored by it.
yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah.
I find
Yeah.
it just
It's
because
not
it doesn't.
boring.
Because at
It's
the end
not
of the day, it
hooking
doesn't
me.
matter. Because it's a multiverse. It doesn't matter.
And that's the thing. They pulled off Venomized, where at the end, what happens at the end, you really care. Even though it's a multiversal thing, and even though all of these characters end up going back to their own universe, or maybe they got whatever happened. I don't know how spoilery we want to get. It's old enough. I mean, either they got poisoned by those little poison things that take over the symbiote, creatures.
Right.
But, I mean, the whole time I was caring about stuff, and then when it ended and you saw... this I won't give away, but the big thing at the very end of it, like I was genuinely going like, oh shit, fuck yeah. Whereas with Dark Knight's Metal, I was left going, okay.
Yeah.
And now that they're bringing in more and more, I'm left going, okay.
You just have to put the blindfolds on for that book in terms of like your overarching worlds. You just have to focus it on that story, and that's literally all you can think about is just that because you can't make sense of it. It's not, I don't think it's supposed to, but that is also bad.
See, and I think I went into it wanting it to be like this.
Trust me, I hear you.
This big jumping on point for stories, and it was for the Batman Who Laughs, But I don't know. It just felt like all this build up, and then what have we got out of it?
Yeah,
a multiverse. Okay, big.
Yeah,
Big deal.
what are we doing with that multiverse
Because we
right
shouldn't.
now? It
We
feels
shouldn't
like
be
nothing.
doing anything with it because the focus needs to be on the main titles because they're slogging right now.
Yeah.
Batman and Detective, it's not great. And so why are they writing all these Elseworld stuff, right? The Black Label stuff and this and
that's what Dark Knight's Metal birth though is that multiverse to just write whatever.
yeah.
That's really what it was for. It was incepted to do that and only that.
I hear you.
That's the way to think about it. Really, not a whole lot of thought.
just-
we need an excuse.
That's true. So, did you have another one? JP?
Yeah. I think Civil War, Marvel Civil War. I think that's good because it's an age of political comics, like political views, and it's important, especially with how politics are today, to pay attention to what the politics are. And I think that book did that really well for a political kind of action book because the movie really actioned it up, you know what I mean, and left the political side aside. And but this book I think is important if you look back at it and really read it as a politics heavy thriller, you know what I mean, with action in it, and that's the strength of that book.
Yeah, and actually for those reasons it almost made my list, but I wanted to pick stuff I knew you cats wouldn't pick.
In the movie I was a little disappointed because it doesn't really have a good lead up to why Tony and Cap are not getting along and why the split. You know what I mean? It just
it was more of
it's pretty quick. I mean,
yeah.
That's
Tony's a dick.
They play with it
Yeah,
a
it was
little bit.
basically
Though. They
that.
play with it a little bit with like the what is it called? The act or something like the. What is it? I can't remember in the movie. They call it something.
Genovia.
Yeah,
the
kind of. That's not the island though.
Yeah.
That's like the place that. Got
but it was
in
after
Age of
Scarlet
Ultron.
Witch blew up.
Yes.
Yeah.
After she made
the Latvia Accords or something.
Yeah,
like
it
that.
was.
Yeah.
I think it was.
that's
the
what it
Latvia
is.
Accords. Right.
Yes.
Because Scarlet Witch couldn't control her powers and she hurt a lot of people.
Yeah.
And they were just citing like you guys are too dangerous. You cannot operate. You can independently. You will not, because by that time it was exposed that Hydra had taken over, and so everybody was on their own doing their stuff instead of under Shield, and Cap didn't want to stop, and Tony was saying you have to.
Yeah.
And
what are we representing here?
yeah, and I don't know. I like the movie version, but I also see what you're saying with the comic version of it was more of a
it's a slower
policy
burn.
thing,
Yeah.
as opposed to if you do this, we're gonna fight, kind of thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I thought, I mean, because for me, the biggest dickhead in the entire Marvel universe is Tony Stark.
Uh-huh.
Like, I was just reading.
Reed Richards might be close.
Yeah. Reed Richards. And that's the thing. They are both in Civil War. They both show off what just monumental pricks they are.
Yeah.
Sure.
And, like, if you read Planet Hulk, at the beginning of that, guess who the assholes are?
Those two.
Reed fucking Richards
And they're going to decide.
Tony goddamn Stark.
They're going to decide where Hulk's going to be, and
And they're going to decide how
And
to
you're
get in
gonna do
there.
it, 'cause-
And of course, they're so smart that they factored everything in. Except they're so stupid. Of course, they haven't.
yeah.
Tony. Well, and then with the Avengers versus X-Men thing, Tony fucked all that up because he's like, "Hey, this hasn't been tested. I'm going to use it
So
against the Phoenix Force."
So do you like it that the Tony Stark in the comic books is much more of a dick than he was in the movies? I mean,
I think he was a pretty big dick in the movies too.
But in the
He
movies, he's
was.
just a palpable dick.
Yeah,
Like, he's
but
just
in
like,
the-
he's a lovable dick.
Yes, but in the comic books, he's
Just a dick.
Just
He's
like,
just an asshole.
He's an ass.
He's not a Hank Pym asshole.
No.
Which that's one thing I'm glad the MCU did change was because Hank Pym, like, he beat his wife. They had a panel of him hitting his wife. And he's never in the comics really recovered from that.
No.
And Ultron was in the comics his fault.
Yeah.
So there's Hank Pym was hate a bibble
Yeah.
in the comic book. And boy, do I. Because I'm not a fan of wife beaters.
Ah,
It's a
The
good stance to
article of clothing or the type of person.
good to know. All right. So, let's see. My second one was Batman and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. All three
Batman
of them.
TMNT?
There's been
Yep.
three. And I really like them because they're just fun. You know, usually it's some kind of interplanetary connection to their different realities.
Yeah.
And then there was this one where Batman didn't know he didn't belong there.
Yeah.
It was in number 3, I think. I don't know. I think they work really well together, especially they play off of Donatello quite a bit, being much more of a detective for.
Yes. I've always loved Donatello.
Yeah.
Donatello's been one of my
I mean,
personal
but
favorites.
Donatello is really.
He's my dude, man.
Yeah.
Donatello
Dude, man.
does machines.
Yeah, and Batman's
wrong with that?
got machines. I don't
No,
know.
that's from the song.
I got you.
Leonardo leads, Donatello does machines. Raphael is cool but rude. Michelangelo is a party dude.
Wow.
A dramatic reading.
No, and so it brought together these two totally different. I think IDW had Turtles, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so it brought together these two completely different, creative universes and made it work. I didn't.
Yeah,
I think
right.
I thought they were fun. Nothing that you'd be like.
There was also a similar Spider-Man, Batman type thing I have. They did 2 of those.
Huh.
And both of them, it was a fun feel where they made these 2 universes meld together.
Yeah.
The first one, the Joker and Carnage try and team up with each other.
Oh,
And
really?
I can't remember who it is for the second one, but I have them somewhere.
I'll have to read it sometime.
They've done that before with Spawn too. Spawn met
Spawn and Batman one is
met
pretty-
Spider-Man.
That one is pretty cool. It actually falls in continuity in Spawn comics too.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that one's neat. I have that one. It's just boring though.
Right.
I mean, the idea of it's cool.
But yeah, it's interesting. I'd like to see something like that happen again.
I
but
think
we'll see.
Spawn as a character is just a combination of Batman and Venom
Right.
into
Oh, 100%.
one character.
Yeah.
But yeah, so all 3 of them that have come out, each of them were 6 issues, right?
Well, they're great picks
Or
because
4 issues.
The creative team takes a great choice in showcasing both casts. They,
Yeah.
they showcase Batman, they showcase the
They
Turtles,
really
they
did.
showcase Splinter and Shredder, and they just spend the time to build up both fandoms. So either way, if you're a fan of one and not the other, you understand and you get it and it works. But if you're a fan of both, it's even better. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So many fun things about that book.
Yeah. So anyway, TR
Yeah, what's up?
number 3.
Yeah, we were originally going to do just 3, so this is my official number 3 pick.
Okay.
But there's a 4th one that I think you guys might not agree is a crossover.
Okay.
This one, I also went with a Carnage, but I went with Carnage USA.
I never read that.
I've never read this either.
Oh, it's one of the stories to me that does not fizzle nearly as much.
See, I was carnaged out when that came out, so I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah, and that's understandable. And for me, I got this years later and just read it, when I felt like it.
So, set us up. Where are we at in the Spider-Man universe?
Well, everyone thinks Carnage is pretty much gone. Everyone's convinced that he is inactive or dead. And he shows up in this little town where there's basically a meat packing plant.
Mm-hmm.
And that's kind of it. And he feeds his symbiote with all the meat and all the people. And he takes over the town. And so, like, Wolverine, Captain America, Hawkeye, The Thing, like, they all show up. They're like, hey, we're going to help. And then he fucking takes over them.
Jeez.
Oh.
So now they're controlled by... And the artwork that they did for it, for when he takes over the different creatures, is really well done. And I wish I could find... Here we go. So it'll be hard to see on the camera. It's not focusing. So there you go. But, like, there's the Thing getting taken over, and it is dark.
Who's the artist? I really like
it. It's Wells and Crane is what it says on the Thing.
Clayton Crane?
Illustrated by Clayton Crane.
Yeah.
So Zeb Wells wrote it, and Clayton Crane...
It's really cool.
The illustrations are, honestly...
Photorealism, a little bit.
A little bit of that style. But
that creates much more of a real sense of the story. Yeah.
Yep.
I'll have to read it. I
just
totally
for the art,
it's
worth watching. Reading. And it's super cheap, too. It's a $20 little book that I'm positive you could find places for cheaper.
Yep.
Yes.
Speaking of places that you could find for cheaper, let's just do our plug real quick.
Woo! Go for it.
We are sponsored, as always, by Rainbow Comics, Cards, and Collectibles. Now, if you're in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, you can find them at 3310 South Minnesota Avenue. Beautiful place to go. They got a great location, and they got mostly palpable employees there. But let's say you're in Lincoln, Nebraska.
3/4 of them.
Yeah. And we don't want to mention JP's name or anything, because that'd be awkward. That'd be awkward
weird.
for
I
everyone.
wouldn't like that.
Right.
Yeah, that'd make everyone uncomfortable.
That would.
But let's say that you're more in the Nebraska area, like maybe
Lincoln.
like around Lincoln. Well, then you'd be going to 1500 Pine Lake Road, Suite. Damn it, mother effer.
Nope. 1501 Pine Lake Road, Suite 17. You'll get it eventually. I'm proud of you for trying.
You were one number. You would have been across the street. You would have sent everyone across the street
to like a Chili's or something. I don't know what's across the street. I think there's a high school really close
Then
by.
they go over there and they're like, God damn it! There's it's a Chili's. Then they just.
But it's 2 for 1 on margaritas, honey. Let's
They
stay.
don't even look across the street.
It's 2 for 1 margaritas.
Ask me how I know there is no God.
Because Chili's exist. I don't know.
1501 Pine Lake Road, Suite 17. And the employees are, as far as I know, decent folk. I've never been there, but at some point I am making a road trip of it.
Someday.
Just to visit the store?
Yeah.
Okay. I
am genuine. And I'm going to show up like this. Hey, guys. I'm TR. TR.
Who?
I run the Twitter account for...
Okay, you're calling the police? I'm leaving.
Yes. So, JP, is their location same size, smaller, bigger?
No, much smaller, but they have a lot more focus on newer books and trade paperbacks and action figures and the pop vinyls.
Sure.
That's one of the biggest things there.
Yeah,
and,
I got my newest pop vinyl. It was the gay Batman.
Pride Batman.
The Pride Batman.
Yes, the
that
Rainbow
thing
Batman.
is cool.
That thing is pretty sweet.
Yeah.
They do a good job. They have a Rainbow Pride SpongeBob SquarePants as well.
Nice.
Yes. He's also very cool.
Yeah.
I never got in on the SpongeBob
Me
thing.
neither. I wasn't a SpongeBob guy. I just I find it funny, but I couldn't find myself watching SpongeBob for 2.5 hours of my life.
No.
Like, just like I'm just gonna go. You know what I mean?
No, I'm with you. I couldn't do it that
I
long,
watch
but-
like 5-minute clips. That's funny.
Oh yeah. No, I could do a couple episodes. Like
Yeah.
because they're only
Maybe.
about 20 minutes.
I could maybe get a couple, but I don't think I could sit there and binge it for hours.
My sister and I used to because she had season 1 on DVD, and yeah, it would just be.
And whatever you had on DVD, that got
Played.
That's just like with VHSs at first. Like
whatever
you had,
owned,
that's
watched
what you
the
played.
shit out of.
Yeah.
Click it.
Yep. Okay, so who was next? You.
No.
You.
He just went.
Yeah, that's you then.
Oh, I
Last
thought you
one.
looked at you as in you as in him.
I did, and then
Oh.
I turned and went you.
No, I honestly don't have the last one. Sorry.
Okay.
Honestly, I was just trying to rack my brain on one that's like my ultimate favorite. I mean, there's a lot out there.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to just go with an obvious like Batman's Shadow because I think that's cool, but it's still like
was
in the
cool.
vein of Batman TMNT.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Thanks.
JP's pick is Crisis on Infinite Earths. Interesting pick.
Final Crisis.
My favorite is Archie meets the Predator. No, I'm
Yeah.
just kidding.
Was there one?
Yes, there
Yes.
was. He
Yes.
met the Predator like twice.
That's
The
awesome.
Archie meets are kind of funny.
Man, Archie meets everybody.
No, I couldn't pick it. I mean, we talked about some great ones. Blackest Night. You know what I mean? Civil War. was a
Honestly,
huge pick.
Carnage USA, I'm a little surprised you guys hadn't
Yeah,
read
I
it.
read that one.
Now that I know that it's not as well known, I'm going to do a video on YouTube a bit more about this.
Sure.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna reread it and such.
You should.
It's gonna be exciting. So if you're a YouTube viewer,
You know,
Hi.
so my last one that I was gonna say was Outer Darkness and Chew. I'm a big John Layman fan, and so Chew is always a favorite story of mine, and then Outer Darkness is just this crazy sci-fi story.
I love Outer
So-
Darkness.
so then when
Outer
you-
Darkness is so darkly funny and like well
Yeah.
thought out, and the universe is planned really well. Love it.
So there's a current 4-issue mini happening. I think we're on issue like 2 or 3. That's really worth checking out because if you're fans of Outer Darkness and you want to go back and see what Layman was doing before, that's a good place to start because you get introduced to the characters from Chew. You
Yeah.
know, I know you weren't a Chew fan; it was kind of just weird for you, but
a little bit.
yeah, Outer
yeah,
but
Darkness.
I
I
loved
prefer
Outer Darkness,
cigarettes
so.
to chew.
Yeah,
Yep.
who doesn't?
It's a dip.
Yeah. Anyway.
You keep that skull, baby.
Yeah.
Anyway,
My dad chewed, so like in one year of my elementary school pictures, I was
dip.
Nah.
look just my tongue, right? Because I was
Mhm.
my dad did it, right? Because he always had this dip in his lip, and I
right
I didn't know if I don't remember if I didn't know that it was chew or if I thought it was his tongue. I don't know, but so one of my school pictures, my mom had to have them retaken.
Oh, they didn't give you that one. That's awesome. You should have had that one. That'd be a great profile picture
Yeah.
for you.
I looked like I had a huge underbite, you know.
Yeah. Honestly, I'm mostly excited for this fall, though. I really do think that the Marvel events with King in Black,
Yeah. The
Black
Yes.
King.
King in Black,
the king is black.
King in Black, or King
No,
is Black, King in
is
Black.
the good-
Anyway,
the king in black.
yes,
We're gonna go with that.
I think so.
Bah.
I think so.
Ba-da-da, ba-da-da.
Anyway, this fall I think is going to be a great time for comics, especially for crossovers, because you're going to have that, and then the Thor is going to culminate into it, and they're now building. They've built all the bricks to build this like cosmic Earth battle with Black Winter, because I think he's going to come into it. Null's going to be in it. Thor's going to be in it. Silver Surfer's probably going to be in it, and he has a connection with Silver Surfer Black. Like I think that's also going to happen.
Yeah, because Null has infected Silver Surfer. That was the last time we saw him, I think.
But they placed that in a time and a universe that was not known because the galaxy is infinite. It's
Yeah.
just a time that Silver Surfer ran into Null,
Okay.
and he for a moment became the Black Surfer.
So, if you know, where is Silver Surfer now? Because Thor is in his place.
He's gone. He's out
Okay.
doing whatever.
Okay.
So yeah, that Silver Surfer Black storyline was actually just very standalone. Very time
which
was,
bugs
I
me
don't know.
about Empire. It's continuity because it's got Thor in it, but Thor is off hanging out with Galactus
Yeah, he's
right
the
now.
Herald.
Yeah, and so
Yeah, that's weird.
There is some question about how this fits in Empire.
Well, I
because
think
it fits
honestly,
in perfect with X-Men.
I think honestly, it would fit in with the Avengers like story at that point, because the Avengers story and that story probably should have been published closer together.
Yeah.
So, but with everything going on,
Yeah,
hiatus,
and with
I think,
everything going screwy the way it has,
I think that's why you're coming into those
Yeah.
double up
Yeah.
timeline things.
True.
So,
Okay. Cool.
just a reason about it.
Yeah, I'm excited for the events of this fall, just like you said.
Yes.
Because I think, like I said, Black Winter is going to be popular. Thor comics, those early Donny Cates ones are going up. Of course, Venom, also Donny Cates are going up.
Well, I think it's going to be a crowning jewel this year for Donny Cates in terms of what he's worked towards, what he's done, and this is his big event that culminates all the work he's done with Venom, Thor, Guardians, Thanos, all the work he's done, and
I've only got the
Silver
first
Surfer Black, I
Guardians.
mean-
Is the rest of the series any good? I only have the first one.
no, just when Cates was writing it, it's good. You know what I mean? But when he drops off, it was just nice to have him reboot that. But I'm just saying, all the work he's done for Marvel is going to culminate in this Cates event because this is his event. I mean, it's all characters that he's created, all storylines culminating into one event.
Yep.
It's all on a collision course. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I really think this is going to be his 2020 best work. So
Yeah. I wish DC could get their act together.
I hear
Yeah.
you. I hear you.
So do you guys kind of see when as soon as Kevin Feige comes on board to Marvel Comics, things start getting in line a lot more better? And
Well, it's just you have a
do
plan.
you think it's his influence
I think
as
I
creative?
think you
He's
have
like
to.
creative director or whatever.
I think you
Yeah.
have to at least give him a nod. He's hiring the right people and putting the right people in position to create events.
I mean,
like
he's the
this
one who
new-
made the movie industry so awesome, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's the one who got Marvel to do it right, in like DC, and now he's involved in Marvel Comics, and it feels like, wow, all of Marvel Comics, like you were just saying, feel like they have a point and a purpose, and they're moving towards one goal. It doesn't feel like Spider-Man's there and Punisher's there, and this.
Right.
Speaking of which, I want Punisher to be in on this stuff.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Punisher and Null.
That'd be very interesting. But I think that could be another story he tackles in 2021. But we'll see.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're totally right. And it's all about filtering it through one guy who knows everything. This is the way it needs to be. One person's decision.
Yes.
You know, one leader to go, and the rest of your team just work towards a goal.
Yep.
It's
Run your
singular
story by him.
vision.
How does it connect? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You can do whatever you want in your story, but you need to have these three things happen to connect it to this.
Yep.
No problem. We can do that. You know what I mean? Like, that's the best thing that Marvel's done, and DC is lacking that because they're just kind of driving in the mud all over the place. They're
Yeah.
having a gay old time, like, woo, yeah,
Exactly.
baby, hand me
That's
another Bud Light seltzer. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying about doing
But they
all
are
of
just
these-
spinning.
That's what I'm saying about doing all these,
seltzer.
you know, quote.
Damn, yeah. Everyone just shut up for a minute and think about it, bud. You're in your hammock that's hung between the pickup truck and the neighbor's pickup truck. They don't like it too well, but who cares?
You can get away with it a couple hours before Jimmy comes home. You better get that shit out.
Crack you open a delicious.
Delicious. You know what? Let me tell you right now.
Okay, let's
Your-
move past
your
that.
accent
Bud Light's
work
gonna
is-
sue us.
Your
Bud Light's gonna
accent
sue
work
us.
is good.
Bud Light's gonna sue us. hard.
Now I understand what John Lees was talking about when he said he forbade you from ever doing the Scottish accent again.
No, it was you. He said, he
No.
was laughing at you. Oh, TR. Oh, you didn't know.
Oh.
I'm just kidding. Okay, what did he say?
No, he was talking about because the first time you guys interviewed him,
Yeah.
you tried the Scottish accent, and he said maybe you shouldn't do that again.
I'm pretty sure it's JP. I'm pretty sure.
Was me.
All right, fine.
I've watched
we all
Braveheart
know
enough.
it was you.
I've watched Braveheart enough to know. Man.
Yeah, it go. I do a flawless one. It goes like this. Hello, my name is TR. It's a perfect Scottish accent
It's really bad.
Worse than mine.
really bad.
because of Sean Connery.
Yeah, it's really bad.
That's worse than mine.
It's a Sean Connery.
It's pretty tough.
It's really bad.
Were you,
Mine, I can only do mine as the gruffer one though. Like I lower my voice to do it.
One more time. Let me hear it one more time. Got my headphone on. Ready, go.
No, no,
I'm waiting for it. I'm waiting for it.
now I'm insecure.
It's a beautiful day.
It's a little bit like Chibs,
alright.
Chibs from Sons of Anarchy.
It's all right. It's better.
Yeah.
At least you're getting the inflections.
Yeah.
Yes. Do you have a last one?
Yeah, but this is
Yeah.
the
What's your
one.
What's your fourth?
Yep. So this one I picked, and this is really sentimental reasons, but the death of Superman and World Without a Superman.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the reason I thought you cats might be like, what? That's not a crossover.
No, but we also talked events.
It's an event.
Yeah. But, and this also, because there's a lot of Justice League stuff in here.
Uh-huh.
Like, you get to see a lot of members of the Justice League get their asses handed to them. And I understand that, like, hey, bro, you got laser eyes, just use those on him and you're good to go. And, like, why this was dumb and the only reason it existed was they couldn't let him get married yet because they were waiting for Lois and Clark to do it
yeah.
with that Dean Cain guy who's a bigot, I guess.
Really?
Oh, really?
Good old Dean Kane's a bigot?
God damn it.
Yeah, he's...
Superman.
Is the world not safe for anything?
I mean, honestly, if Dean Cain...
stay sacred?
I
Does
mean, if
Dean
I was,
Cain really feel like a big loss, though?
I'm just saying.
Was that Dean Cain? What? Why? What's he doing? Is he racist?
I think he... I don't want to say what I recall him saying
Yeah,
because
Dean
those
Cain
aren't
might come over
words. Those aren't words I like to say
He'll
out
come
loud.
over and kick your ass. He's Superman, you know.
Yeah, but he was the Superman that was afraid of heights.
He's a good
So I just
Superman.
grab a ladder and I'm outsmarting his ass.
So
How can you be afraid of heights? You can fly.
That was a
anyway-
big thing. They kept making a big story about it.
Weird.
Anyway, so Death of Superman.
Yeah.
What did you like about it?
Honestly, I think the main reason I like it is it was that part of my childhood, but also to watch Superman finally, because the whole point of him is he'd do anything. He'd give his all to the very last.
Yeah.
And you finally actually get to see him do that.
Yeah.
And then to see World Without a Superman and how the world sort of reacts to that. And even Lobo, like they do a shot of how pissed off Lobo was because he's like, I was supposed to kill him.
Uh-huh.
Which they actually did, which was ridiculous. But Lobo's ridiculous.
Did you
I
like
hate
Did you
Lobo.
like the Return of the Superman stuff? I mean, did you like all the new characters?
I read it at the same time, and so I did. I just poured over that book a
Yeah.
bunch of times.
I really wanted to be Superboy. I loved the leather jacket.
Yeah, he
the
was
v-
such
the
a
sunglasses.
And for the era, he was so bad.
He was fucking cool.
And that was about the end of the leather jacket, the biker jacket
Yep.
being a sign of cool.
Also, circle sunglasses.
Yep. Yep.
The John Lennon, but instead
Yep.
of being blue or pink
Yeah.
or beige or
I really
raspberry.
I really thought he was really cool. I didn't like it though because it coincided with the Batman Bane breaking of his back and
Oh,
then
sure.
finding a new Batman, all that kind of stuff.
Azrael.
And it was really in these two huge DC storylines were either back to back or at the same time, and it just felt like they were trying to which one can we get more?
Sure.
You
Yeah,
know?
I hear you.
And
Yeah.
But it was also a comic and an event that mattered for quite a while too. They didn't like just instantly bring him back, like in the
Yeah.
movies or in like some
They-
other books.
They
You know,
didn't bring him back for I think 6 months. in
Yeah,
comics.
it was a while, but it wasn't like that long. But still, it still mattered for a little while. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now people don't look back on it fondly. They
Yeah.
No. Well, and a lot of it is the hair. I think a lot of it is the.
See, here's the thing. I, sure at the time nobody cared about the hair. At the time, people were like, "Yeah, that fits." And then now that you look back on it, because it's dated and it looks funny, and they're like, "Why would his hair grow when he was,
'Cause
essentially
he wasn't really dead.
And then he went with it for a while. The kind of '90s mullet.
He's Superman.
Yeah, I
can do
don't
what he
know.
well,
wants.
and that was when because there was a chunk
Can I
of
be
time when
honest?
Lex Luthor
I-
had red hair.
Yeah,
Like you can
because
see.
that's a clone of Lex Luthor.
Yeah.
But I have to be honest. I liked the long hair. I thought it looked cool when I was 12, right? Because that's when this came out.
When I was 12, I liked it. Not anymore.
No, I just like Superboy. I think that costume is so dated.
Still love Superman.
So
you
funny.
love it. You'd wear it.
Who is your favorite character to come out of this? I mean, a lot of characters were
Yeah.
invented for
I liked Steel a lot. I
Yeah.
really liked Steel.
John
John
Henry.
Henry Irons.
Yep.
That's a underrated character. It's fun.
I think he's very underrated. And they've had him interact with Superman, and he's done the, like, if you want, I'll stop using your symbol. It was just supposed to be an homage while you were gone. And Superman's like, you honor me by wearing it. Feel me in your mind.
Cable, right?
It's Cable, right?
Cable.
That was Cable?
Is that Cable?
1992,
1992, man. Come
Yeah.
on.
So anyway, yeah, I think it was a good pick. I mean, it was important for 1992. I think is when that came out. Am I right?
I don't know.
Let's
yes.
Come on.
1992.
Yes.
So again, you can't fault it because it was 1992.
Goddamn right.
Anyway, Smash and Grabbers. It's been fun. It's been real. We're at TR's house today.
Yep.
So those watching us on the YouTubers, we're actually at TR's house. Was that a better accent?
No. It was horrible.
God damn it, Bobby.
God damn it, Bobby.
What did I tell you about whacking it?
Boy, that boy ain't right. I tell
God
you what.
damn it, Peggy. My wife said
Right? That's great.
it. I do it to her all the time. She's like, stop it.
Please stop.
Yesterday I
hate
did this is Peggy. And she goes, don't ever do that again.
Don't
I
you
said,
dare.
I said, it's a commercial. And she goes, I know what it is.
I like that new commercial. And then we'll take off for the night. But that guy who like prevents you from becoming your parents when you buy a house or something.
Those are good.
They're hilarious.
That campaign was really smart.
oh my god, they're funny.
Yeah, because he's such a boring guy himself.
Yep.
And he's walking around telling people how not to be boring like their parents.
So great.
And
You know who else reads books about submarines?
my dad.
Yeah.
You have nowhere to sit.
See,
you have
this
too many
is
too many.
this is what sucks about living in a world without commercials.
Oh, okay.
I don't know
so,
what you're talking
Oh,
about.
it's so funny. Just
Okay,
go check them out.
there's this dorky, middle-aged guy. Got a,
I mean, I'm not suffering that much.
You don't have to explain it to me.
and
One of my favorites is they're in the hardware store and that kid walks past and he has blue hair.
Yeah, and they're just like,
he's
we
like,
all
he's
see
like,
it.
we all see it. We all see it. He
Yeah.
has blue hair.
blue.
Blue.
So
Which they did a sketch about that
so
on
funny.
Whitest Kids
Yes.
You Know, where
Yep.
his hair was bright blue, and he's like, "Hey, check it out! I've got blue hair." Like as he's crossing
Yep.
the street, gets hit by a bus. Are you okay? Did you see my hair's blue?
Blue.
And then like the paramedics get him and like, well, "Sir, we're gonna have to get you into surgery." Boy, this is gonna be one heck of a day for the surgeons. We gotta put this guy back together, and his hair's blue.
Oh my god.
No, this one was basically like the guy is teaching you how to not act like your parents. So he's in a hardware store with a group of people. He's training to act cool.
Okay.
And a punk kid with blue hair walks past him, and he's, the people they want to say something, and he's like, "We all see it. We all see it." And someone almost like they can't help it. They're like, "His hair's blue," like he was gonna throw up. And the other guy goes, "Blue."
Blue. So funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, really, really good stuff.
Yeah, my brother works for Progressive, so I always call him up and ask him what the next commercials are going to be, and he said, "I have no idea."
Sometimes
He's lying to you. Punch him.
He's not.
When I worked-
he does not work for corporate.
When I worked for one of the bigger insurance companies, they would tell us about who new spokesperson was, and like they'd
Did they?
play the commercials for us.
Yeah, no,
in meetings. It's like,
yeah.
okay, cool.
Yeah, he says, "I have no idea."
But that's it this week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we got.
What
Comic storylines.
else is going
Events.
on? Should we just end
That's
it? Say
it.
goodbye.
I
It's
think
hot in
that's
here.
it.
We've got the AC turned off for your benefit, and the lights are on for the video for your benefit, and now we're sweating for all of our benefit.
Musky. It smells very musky in here.
I have swamp ass. Not gonna lie.
For Smash and Grab
Ew.
Comics, I'm JP.
I'm Tyler.
I'm not.
Good night.